Welcome back to the deep dive. I want to start today with a challenge for you. Try to tune out the actual words I'm saying for a second. Ignore the meaning, the
Mhm.
sentences.
Mm.
Just listen to the noise, the rhythm, the pauses, the sound of my breath, because we live in a world that is just, it's drowning in curated personas. We have PR scripts, Instagram captions that took 3 hours to write.
It's a wall of polish. It's all designed to be impenetrable, and frankly, it's designed to deceive.
Exactly.
Oh,
But here's the thing.
okay.
There is a layer of data that sits right underneath all of that. It's a hidden frequency,
Yeah.
and it never lies. Today, we are going to learn how to hear it.
It's so interesting because we're all culturally obsessed with what people say. We
Yeah.
analyze transcripts, we screenshot everything, but today we're flipping that entirely. We're
Yeah.
looking at the how.
We're looking at the signal, not the story.
Yeah.
And to do that, we're stepping into this conceptual space. It sounds like something from a sci-fi novel, honestly.
Right.
It's called the Cybernetic Investigation Lab. We've got this massive dossier from an analyst known only as Gold.
Mm-hmm.
And reading through it, it felt like putting on a pair of X-ray glasses, but for your ears.
That is the perfect analogy. Gold's whole philosophy is to strip away the narrative. The he said, she said, the drama, all the spin,
Right.
and just focus on the raw signal data. The mission here is to equip you, the listener, with the tools to stop being, and I love this term Gold uses, parasocially engineered.
Parasocially engineered. That sounds terrifying.
It is a little dystopian, but it's also just the reality of modern media. It's about learning to detect when you're being emotionally hijacked by a narrator who knows exactly which buttons to push.
Okay, so to get through this, Gold gives us two main frameworks, two buckets to put things in. First, there's the scientific informed.
Right, that's the hard data, the numbers, we're talking hertz, decibels, the actual biology of sound, stuff you can measure.
And the second bucket is the manual.
The manual is the translation layer. It's the human element. It takes that cold data and turns it into gut feelings, into vibes, into the red flags you notice in your own life. Because here's the thing. You can script a speech. You can hire someone to write your apology. But you can't really script your autonomic nervous system.
That's where the truth is hiding. Okay, well, let's get our hands dirty. Before we dig into the case study from the dossier, which is,
Right.
by the way, just wild. We need to speak the language. The dossier starts with this toolkit, acoustic biometrics and paralinguistics. Let's break that down.
So paralinguistics, that's the big umbrella term. Think of it like the metadata of communication. It's all the nonverbal elements.
So the tone, the pitch, that kind of thing.
The tone, the pitch, how fast you're talking, the volume, literally everything coming out of your mouth except the dictionary definition of the words.
It's the how, not the what.
Precisely. And the first big concept in there that Gold points to is prosody.
Prosody. It sounds like something from a poetry class.
It's related. It's the rhythm, the intonation of speech, the music of the voice. And changes in prosody tell us about something called cognitive load.
Cognitive load.
Yeah.
That's just how hard the brain is working, right? Like CPU usage on a computer.
Exactly. Is a brain stressed? Is it calculating a lie? When the brain's under a heavy load, that music changes. It might get flat or the rhythm breaks. If I ask you how your day was and you just say, yeah, it was fine, that's low load. But if you're lying, that rhythm often falters.
Because you're building the story as you go.
You're building it in real time.
Gold also mentions artifacting. Now, when I hear that, I think of like a bad Zoom call.
And we have to make a distinction here. There's mechanical noise, a bad mic, a hum in the room. But Gold is focused on biological noise.
Biological noise, like what?
Mouth clicks, sharp intakes of breath, vocal fry, a hard swallow.
Things we normally just filter out, we don't even really hear them.
We ignore them consciously, sure. But our brains are cataloging every single one. A dry mouth click could mean adrenaline is kicking in because of stress. A sharp breath might be the start of a fight or flight response.
So the body's betraying the script. The words say, I'm calm, but the mouth click says, I'm terrified.
100%. And then there's latency. This one seems so simple, but it's huge for spotting deception.
Latency is just the delay, right? The pause.
That's the gap, the delay between a question and the response. It measures processing time. If I ask, what did you have for breakfast? You'll answer right away. That's memory retrieval.
A fast file grab.
Yeah, but if I ask, where were you on the night of the 23rd? And there's a 3-second pause.
Your brain is buffering.
It's buffering. Maybe you're thinking, or maybe you're building a fabrication. Construction takes time. That pause is the sound of the bricks being laid.
Okay, so we've got the scientific informed, the raw data, and then the manual, which is more empathetic. How do they work together?
Think of the scientific inform as the raw feed from a machine. It sees frequency shifts. It sees acoustic phonetics. It just reads a graph. The manual is the human analyst sitting there saying, okay, that rapid pitch change, that's not just 40 hertz. That's a red flag that someone is masking a reaction.
It turns the data into a vibe check.
That is a perfect way to put it. It validates that gut feeling you get when something just sounds off. The data gives you the why.
So let's apply this. Gold's dossier has this case study that is absolutely fascinating. It's a forensic analysis of a YouTuber named Ashley Brianna Eve.
This is where the rubber meets the road.
Okay, so for context,
Yeah.
Ashley Brianna Eve is a commentator, and she was reacting live to these explosive, unsealed text messages in the Blake Lively and Jamila Jamil drama, a huge internet thing.
We should be very clear here. The source material and what we're talking about isn't the celebrity gossip itself. We are not picking sides. We are analyzing the reactor Ashley and the noise she makes while she's reading all this.
Right, and Gold has a name for the state she enters. Vindication euphoria.
It's intense.
It is. So let's start with the scientific inform on this video. What did the lab actually find?
The first thing that just jumped off the charts was pitch spikes. Gold noted these huge frequency shifts when she read specific words from the texts, like suicide bomber or, well, some much nastier terms I won't repeat.
The pitch shot way up like a squeak.
Sky high, a sharp upward inflection, and biologically that indicates high arousal. It suggests genuine shock. Gold's point here is that these spikes were involuntary. It proves she wasn't just reading a rehearsed script.
So in that moment, she's being authentic. The biometrics say she is genuinely surprised.
In that specific biological moment, yes. The surprise was real. The vocal cords literally tightened up. Then you have what Gold calls cognitive glitches. There's this great moment where she starts stuttering and actually says out loud, "Why am I saying like so much today?"
I do that when I'm nervous or if I've had way too much coffee.
It's a classic processor gap. Her brain's processing speed was outpacing her ability to speak because the data coming in was so intense, she literally couldn't get the words out fast enough. It's like a computer lagging.
And the biological artifacts you mentioned before.
Oh, they were everywhere. Audible gasps, sharp inhalations right before she read the most derogatory terms. These are visceral, physical reactions. Disgust, excitement, shock. It's messy audio. It's not clean.
Okay, so that's the data. Messy, high-pitched, stuttery, breathless. But what does it all mean? What is this vindication euphoria?
This is where it gets really interesting. She isn't just a reporter sharing news. She is emotionally consuming the downfall of a target. All that noise, the gasps, the laughter, the interruptions, it all signals that she feels proven right. It's the sound of "I told you so" happening at a cellular level.
And that energy is infectious.
Yeah.
Or if you watch someone gasping in horror, you feel that tension yourself.
Exactly. Which brings us to the strategy room. Gold uses these incredible metaphors to explain why we, the audience, are so drawn to this specific kind of noise. Why do we click on the messy video instead of the polished news report?
And the main metaphor here is the glitch in the Truman Show.
I love this one.
It's perfect. So imagine the whole celebrity PR world is this pristine dollhouse. Everything is perfect. But the audience, you, have what Gold calls gaslight fatigue.
That is such a real thing in the social media age. We are so tired of being told everything is fine when our gut says it isn't.
Right. Your gut knows the paint is peeling, but the machine, the PR firms, the brands, they keep telling you, no, it's perfect. You're crazy for doubting it.
It creates this dissonance, this tension.
So when a YouTuber like this comes along, shouting and gasping at the camera.
She's the sledgehammer. She is physically smashing the side of the dollhouse. And for you, the listener, that noise provides cognitive relief. It validates your gut feeling. It says, see, the paint was peeling. You weren't crazy.
It's the ugly noise of the truth versus the shiny brand of the lie.
And we've been conditioned to associate polish with deception. So we start to trust the stuttering, the breathless delivery, because it feels human. It feels real.
And this is where the dossier gets really juicy. This is the twist. Gold flips the script. We have to stop analyzing the celebrity drama and start analyzing the analyst.
The mirror in the dark. You have to turn the camera around and look at the YouTuber herself. Because while she is exposing one manipulation, she might be engaging in another one.
And Gold calls this parasocial engineering. How does that even work? She seems so authentic with the gasps and the stutters.
That authenticity is the weapon. It starts with something called frequency matching. Remember those pitch spikes, that breathless delivery?
Yeah, the high arousal signals.
She's using that high energy to match your own internal frustration. If you're already angry and she's screaming, she hooks you. She bypasses your logic and syncs directly with your emotion.
So by the time you realize what's happening, you're already marching to her drumbeat because it matches your own heart rate.
Exactly. And once she has you synced up, she deploys the expert shield, or the credential shield. Gold points out how narrators in this space often use their backgrounds, counseling, law, whatever, not to explain facts, but to shut down your intuition.
Oh, I see this all the time as a professional psychologist.
Yeah.
And suddenly you feel like you can't argue, even if what they're saying just feels off.
Right. It creates an authority bias. It's a way of saying, I have the degree, so my vibe check is a scientific fact. It stops you from thinking critically about their opinion.
And that leads right into tribal priming.
The classic us versus them. You pit the realists, your audience, against the stands or the fans. If you disagree with the narrator, you're not just wrong, you're brainwashed. It builds a fortress.
It traps you. If you leave the community, you become one of them. You're the enemy.
It's incredibly effective, and it all leads to the savior trap. Gold's metaphor for this is, it's a woman with a lantern in the fog.
The lantern in the fog. Tell me about that.
It's chilling. Imagine you're lost in the fog of the media landscape. The lies, the PR, you don't know what's real. Suddenly, a narrator appears with a lantern and says, I see the monsters too, follow me.
And you follow her because she validates your fear. She makes you feel sane.
Exactly. But eventually, you stop looking for the monsters yourself. You're only looking at her lantern. You've stopped questioning reality and just started accepting her version of it. You've traded one script for another.
Wow. That's profound. So we aren't escaping the simulation. We're just moving to a different server.
That's a perfect way to put it. We trade one for another because the new one feels a little more real.
So how do we stop looking at the lantern? How do we verify reality ourselves? Gold provides a critical listener's cheat sheet.
Yeah.
A 5-point checklist.
Yes. This is the gold standard manual for media literacy in this age. Let's run through them.
Okay, number 1, the credential shield.
Watch for, as a professional, when it's used to silence questions, not explain facts. If someone uses their title to justify a gut feeling like, as a lawyer, her vibe is off, that's a huge red flag.
Right. Use the degree to explain the law, not validate a hunch. Okay. Number 2, the arousal anchor.
Be wary of high-intensity words, explosive, villain, toxic, used in the first 60 seconds.
That's the hook.
It's an injection. It's trying to hotwire your brain's fight-or-flight response. If you feel angry or scared before you've even heard any evidence, you've been anchored. They've gone straight for your lizard brain.
So if my heart rate spikes in that first minute, I should pause.
Pause the video. Literally, take a breath. Reset your baseline.
Number 3, tribal priming.
Identify when a creator mocks the other side instead of just addressing their arguments. If half the content is insulting the haters or the stands, it's not analysis, it's recruitment. They're building an army.
Number 4, the vibe check vacuum.
This is a big one. You have to reject data that is just the creator's personal energy reading. I just know her energy is dark is projection, not proof.
But we all do that, right? Trust our vibes.
In our personal lives, sure. But when you present it to thousands of people as an investigation, it's just filling the space where facts should be with pure emotion.
And finally, number 5, the savior narrative.
Notice if the creator spends more time talking about their own vindication. Phrases like, I told you so, I was the only one brave enough to say this.
It becomes about them, not the story.
If they're the hero of the story, you're just an extra in their movie. You're not being informed, you're being used as an audience for their ego.
So if I spot these things, what's the rapid response?
Regain your frequency. That's the core advice. Pause. Breathe. De-escalate. The point is not to trade one mask, the celebrity, for another, the commentator.
It really all comes back to critical thinking, doesn't it? We started this talking about hertz and latency, and we ended up in the psychology of trust.
It all connects. The final synthesis of the dossier is this. The most dangerous noise isn't the shouting. It's not the pitch spikes or the ugly crying.
What is it?
It's the silence between the lies, or the carefully engineered vibe that's designed to sell you a new simulation.
Because we want to believe the messy person is being honest.
Precisely. But true power is knowing when the person telling you the truth is actually just selling you a different version of reality. Just because someone hates the same people you do, that doesn't make them your friend.
That is a powerful takeaway. Trust your gut.
Trust your gut, but don't let someone else hold the leash.
That is the gold standard. I think the next time I scroll through my feed, I'm going to be hearing things very, very differently.
You won't be able to unhear the latency now, I promise.
I know. I'll be counting the seconds. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. Keep your ears open.
Stay curious.